The Aviation Matters bring you all the latest information and events across the country under the Honorable Minister of Aviation on executives, policies, projects, and everything that's related to the aviation transportation industry. Stay tuned every week on this channel.
The insatiable needs of man necessitated his movement from one place to another, and one major means by which he has been doing this is by flying in the aeroplane. The documentary traces the history of civil aviation in Nigeria, exploring the various phases of development which the industry has gone through. It concludes that the aviation industry is indispensable to the socio-economic development of Nigeria and should therefore be given the proper attention it deserves. Civil aviation is a critical element in Nigeria's transportation system and indeed its economy. Nigeria has 22 airports and many regulated airstrips and heliports, 23 active domestic airlines, over 554 licensed pilots, 913 licensed engineers, and 1,700 cabin personnel. Nigeria, being Africa's most populous country, is an important destination for over 22 foreign carriers. Nigeria currently has bilateral air services agreements with over 78 countries. This episode will focus on Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAAN, which is a service organization statutorily charged to manage all commercial airports in Nigeria and provide service to both passenger and cargo airlines. The team visited the managing director and chief executive of FAAN, Captain Rabiu Yadudu, who throw more light on the activities of the agency.
We are getting recognition within Nigeria and outside Nigeria in terms of our service delivery, and of course this is all due to our very strict and consistent work in compliance with the regulations as sent down through ICAO and domesticated by our Civil Aviation Authority. I believe our achievements so far are commendable. In the last 4 years alone, FAAN has done a lot in ensuring and improving safety and security across our airports. We certified some airports, Lagos and Abuja, in the last 3 years. Airport Council International Africa recognized one of our airports, Abuja, as the most improved in safety in Africa, I believe in 2018. We achieved carbon accreditation. About 2 airports are engaged in that program. Lagos gained recognition also 3 years ago in terms of that carbon accreditation program, which is an environmental sustainability program. Also, 2 years ago, I believe ICAO recognized Nigeria as one of the only 16 countries across the world with proven improvement and commitment to safety and security. And even this year, Abuja was recognized and given an award as among the best 3, together with Nairobi and Mauritius in Africa. So our services, we gauge them through this and through a lot of regular feedback with our stakeholders. We subscribed to the Airport Service Quality Program from AACI and ICAO 2 years ago, and that is what led to Abuja getting recognition this year. Airport service quality is a standard yardstick worldwide used by very big airports and those that have strong ambitions of improving their services. About 300 airports are currently enrolled, and Abuja and Lagos were enrolled 3 years ago. And as of now, Abuja is one of the primary recipients in Africa out of about 50 airports. So I believe the response from ASQ, Airport Service Quality, proves that what we think we are doing, we're actually doing it in the right way. We've not achieved, we are not perfect, we are far away from there, but it shows that we are heading in the right direction, and creditably.
Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, as a public organization, facilitates unique air transport services, which is targeted at bringing the organization among the best airport group in the world. Captain Rabiu Yadudu said the organization is working hard to improve its services at the nation's airports. The outbreak of the coronavirus from Wuhan, China, and its threat to lives and businesses led to the introduction of lockdowns and other stringent measures across cities of the world to curtail its spread. Nigeria, like other countries, had begun the 2020 business year on a promising note. But when in March 2020, the first confirmed case of the disease was reported, the hope of a bright economy, prosperous 2020, becomes dimmed. Nigerian ground handling firms in the aviation industry consequently counted revenue losses due to the pandemic-induced plunge. There are divergent views on the effects of COVID-19 induced lockdowns and travel restrictions, which have forced ground handling firms to consider job cuts and cost reduction measures in a bid to survive. Amidst the current global pandemic and fall in global oil prices, Nigeria is heavily dependent on earnings from sale of crude oil. The government of Nigeria, through the Ministry of Aviation and the Infrastructure Concession and Regulatory Commission, has reprioritized the funding of some of the country's infrastructure, which includes airports, to enable it focus resources in other essential areas.
Incidentally, last year we did some of our best work as an airport operator. The COVID came, which was very unfortunate, but the additional challenges and responsibilities imposed upon us, I believe almost the whole industry, not only FAAN, we responded very well, creditably. And because of that, even our own CAA was granted recognition by the International Civil Aviation Organization, because our own protocols came first, they came out first, and they were used as part of what ICAO was using to develop the CAT, the return to operations document that was used to ensure that all airlines of the aviation industry can use it to come back and resume operations, guaranteeing that all the protocols are inside. So we did well. NCDC and the PTF engaged us very actively, and the protocols were developed and given to us, and we worked to ensure that we implement them faithfully. Primarily, it's all about ensuring there's separation between stakeholders, passengers, other stakeholders like people that have the maybe handling companies, shops, retailers, airline agents. It's all about separation. And that separation is one. The second aspect is disinfection. And for that we have the hand sanitizers, we have the face masks, we have disinfection of the all surfaces in our terminals. And for the separation, we insisted on that 1.5 meter to 2 meter separation between persons within our terminals and within the land side also. So it's all what we use to ensure that the compliance was very high. Additionally, we even went a bit further. We got very sophisticated thermal imaging camera that will display the temperature on incoming passengers or stakeholders, not just one by one. They were placed around the entrances of the terminals, so that as you are coming in, people are monitoring. Those with high or higher than normal temperatures are noticed and highlighted, or we call them to one side. I believe in addition to the cameras, we also did a lot of enlightenment through the social media and the radio jingles across Nigeria in different languages, all to sensitize people to ensure that when the time comes, when you are in our facilities, you are not in any doubt that, okay, this is what is expected of you. You are expected to comply, you are expected to ensure that you are safe, not primarily for yourself alone, but for the sake of others. We drove that point home. We want you to do this because others need to be safe, but it is also for your own good. And I must also add, our staff also rose to the occasion very, very creditably, because we did a lot of training in terms of preparing the staff to protect themselves and guide stakeholders within the terminal to know what to do. Our World Health Organization, I believe, training came about 4 courses, and our staff, almost 7,000 FAAN staff, did that training with certificates. We have about 8,000. If 7,000 did that training, it shows we have a very high percentage of commitment to get the training and make sure that our services are not hindered by the COVID-19. Even the World Health Organization, I believe, sent a note to commend and acknowledge that Nigeria did very well in terms of undergoing that training. 4 different trainings to do with the operations and the airside. So we did very well, and if you look at it, I would say on the average, level of compliance with the protocols was very high, over 90. It's only on instances 1, 2, 3 that will say we had issues, but all stakeholders came out and did their own part, and we ensured that we did ours.
The Aviation Matters bring you all the latest information and events across the country under the Honorable Minister of Aviation on executives, policies, projects, and everything that's related to the aviation transportation industry. Stay tuned every week on this channel.
On his achievement after taking over the leadership of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Captain Rabiu Yadudu said, "Massive private investment is sorely needed to tap the potential in aviation sector for jobs and infrastructure, of which the Managing Director of FAAN assures foreign investors of full commitment and cooperation in order to survive doing business in Nigeria."
The planned concession with the terminals, I must stress terminals, not airports, which is already being processed now, is one very important opportunity for stakeholders to engage and participate and assist in working with us to improve our services in the airport. It's all about improving terminal services, terminal operations. This is what the passengers see directly. An airport consists of the terminal and the airfield and maybe the land side, and I believe the terminal alone doesn't constitute more than 30 or 20%, but it's what the passengers see. But most of the hard work in terms of our safety and efficiency and security is on the airfield. So by and large, concession of the terminals is a very important aspect of our operations, and those that are willing to participate, they will add a lot of value if they do so and succeed. Another area is ground handling services. Currently we have about 2 major ones, but the more the services, the better. Even in the airline industry, we need more airlines in Nigeria. The market is huge, over 200 million. We'll have a few big ones, and I think they can get bigger. We pray that the current airlines will get bigger, and any new additions will help to improve competition, improve services, and drive prices down. So in all aspects of our operations, we have opportunities: airlines, handling, fueling, the concession of the airports, even retail within the terminals. The opportunities are many. It's just that when people contact us, we have our customer services, we have the corporate affairs, and we have the one-stop shop. It's also a service, an office we have dedicated to working with our stakeholders, existing and potential. This helps in making sure that no opportunity is lost for all our stakeholders. So the concession is just a product of the necessity that we need funds to improve the facilities. We hear there are a lot of areas in our own operations and facilities that stakeholders are complaining that are aged, that need to be replaced or reconstructed, but the funds are not there because in the beginning we didn't have the money to construct the facilities. So now that they are here, we need funding, and that lack of funding is what brings about the concession. If you need services, we must invest. And to invest, we must have a kind of partnership that is very positive and in the interest of industry and Nigeria in general. So that is the reason for the concession. We need it to improve our services so that when you go to our terminal in Nigeria, any terminal, it will look like any other terminal you are seeing in the rest of the developed world. Compares favorably with Dubai, with Singapore, with London, Heathrow, Munich, all the important airports. That is the vision. The minister and the ministry have a vision, and we share that vision to improve it. We are not selling, and it's only the terminal, and the terminal is only a percentage. But fortunately, that's what the passengers see, and we're happy with that. Our target is to make sure we do it very well. We do it transparently with a lot of accountability, and to make sure that nothing goes wrong in the process itself. But once you get concession right, we shall all look back and say, what a wise choice, what a wise decision. I will add, I read the document, only about 14% of the world's airports have concession right now. 14%. Out of that 14, the 14 control or operate 40% of the world's traffic. So that tells you it is maybe even if it's 14%, but it is the big airports, those that have ambition or aspiration to be very big, that actually get concession, so that the investment comes in, airports improve, better services, better facilities, better marketing, and of course, more revenue. So if 14% of the world's airports are concession, but they cater for 40%, that tells you the trend. So it's all about foresight and planning for the future. We should have done this many years ago. Then you will not be seeing facilities that are redundant and aged and dilapidated. If you had done this concession maybe 20 years ago, you will not have any reason, if it is done very well, you will not have any reason to see any difference between our airports and those of the rest of the world that are in the same situation. IGR, service delivery, opportunities, employment, all aspects. It's just like a small input or a big input, whatever the way you look at it. You input the capital investment and the effects, positive effect will be all over. Employment, business movement, international communication, international investment, cross borders. It's all the same. And then, best of all our stakeholders, Nigerians and the foreigners, will see the clear difference in having a terminal that is world standard, because the investment will be there and the commitment will be there, and that's no way you can get it wrong. I'm tempted to say all passenger services, even though few are delivered by us directly, and most.
Having realized the importance of engaging the private sector in economic development, the federal government opened the Nigerian airspace to private investors. This led to the emergence of Okada Air in 1982, based in Benin City, Nigeria. The carrier started with a fleet of BAC 111-300s and started charter operations in September of the same year. To this, the managing director and chief executive of FAAN, Captain Rabiu Yadudu, confirmed that the organization has yielded substantial benefits in terms of enhanced efficiency growth and better service delivery in the nation's aviation sector. In an industry where accidents, when they occur, are devastating in their human economic cost, safety is of paramount importance. This and funding is one of the biggest challenges the aviation sector is facing in Nigeria.
Most of the other functions within the airport are undertaken by other stakeholders, companies, agencies that are there to do specialized responsibilities. And that is the way the airport industry is. We do not do all. We specialize in being responsible, getting the facility right, organizing all the participants and stakeholders, and ensuring that the standards are upheld and sustained. That is our primary responsibility. But most of the people you see in an airport working are not FAAN staff, but they are working with us fully, and we are responsible for their operations. That is the difference. Apart from security, look at it. When you come to the airport, maybe it's your Uber or your private car. When you get to the car park, look, most of the car parks are concession or leased up. When you go to the terminal, you see most of the shops are private. They are not operated by FAAN. Screening, you see FAAN staff. Go to the airline counter, it is the airlines you will see. They are not FAAN staff. The agencies, if it's an international flight, NDLEA, customs, immigration, they are not FAAN staff. And by the time you get to the boarding area, you still be going back to the airlines and their agents or officers up to the time you enter your aircraft and depart. So the primary area you interface with FAAN staff is maybe doing the screening. But everywhere you walk in the airport, our people are there, either actively seeing you or monitoring through our surveillance cameras. And that is the nature of our business. So we make it possible for everyone to operate, because we are the operators, we are the owners, and we are fully responsible. That is the nature of our operations. Funding is number one, because if you have the funding, even the others like security challenges, they are worldwide, not only in Nigeria. We have security challenges. We have a lot of challenges, particularly with ensuring that the safety and security of our operations and stakeholders is paramount. It is so important that even the International Civil Aviation Organization has dedicated an annex to aviation security, Annex 17. Safety Annex 19, that's safety management system. So these are so important. We have dedicated annexes. Without safety and security, there will be no aviation. No one will come to the airport if he is not guaranteed that when he comes from home, he's going back home safely. Even 90% will not be enough. If you know you will come to the airport 10 times, only 9 times you are guaranteed to go back, nobody will come. It has to be 100% or maybe 100 minus 0.0 something So that is the biggest challenge, sustaining safety and security. And this is a very strict call for all of us, because safety and security is not static. You might be up to date today with the safety and security infrastructure or architecture, but maybe within 24 hours something happens. Suddenly you become vulnerable. So it is an ongoing business. We keep up with the challenges, we keep on in the implementation. At the end of the day, anytime you look, maybe even 1 month back, if we look back now, we see a lot of changes from what we've been doing last month and what we are trying to do this month. So these are the biggest challenges, safety and security. The funding helps us to achieve these targets, but they remain the primary challenges we have in our industry. All the others, we have already been configured, trained to be fully capable of handling them, like training, service delivery. We all know what to do. We have the technical experts and the personnel to do whatever we need to do. And we have guidance, prompt, regular guidance from the CA and KO. So we have no issues to do with that. But the area where we stand very much in need of the support of our stakeholders and the industry and government is safety and security, and of course funding.
In 2013, the Federal Ministry of Aviation launched the most ambitious rehabilitation program that the aviation industry has experienced since inception. The upgrade and rehabilitation program involved the remodeling and rehabilitation of 22 federal government-owned airports around the country. Many of the country's airport terminals that had not been refurbished for long were rehabilitated and remodeled to increase their capacity. FAAN welcomes the private sector to partner with it in various areas of its statutory mandate to provide adequate infrastructure and facilities and service delivery to support the Nigerian aviation industry.
I assure them of our full commitment, full support, full cooperation with the business opportunities and the market value we have in Nigeria. I can say, inshallah, I guarantee them success. When you come to Nigeria for business, you will not regret it. We have all that it takes for you to succeed, and we will work very hard, 100%, to ensure that that success is achieved with minimal delay and sustainably.